Is that the parts department? I've got my Norden Bombsight. It's got some problems. Do you have spares for the Norden Bombsight?
What was that? Norden Bombsight. Oh, yeah, I know those. No, the spares department doesn't carry any spares for the Norden Bombsight.
But my Norden Bombsight is broken. You must have spares for it.
Well, mate, that's really easy to answer. Each one was handmade, and there's no interchangeable parts, so I don't have any spares. Good luck fixing it.
Hey wonderful people, and welcome back to the Norden Bombsight Part 2. This Part 2 is the real reason I wanted to make a film about the Norden Bombsight, because it's not what it appears to be. So today the film is brought to you by Lilith Coffee and yet another portion of Mrs. H's cinnamon apple cake. Yum! So where do I begin? Well, you've got to remember that the Carl Norden Bombsight was actually first invented in 1933, long before any war with Germany. By 1939 and the beginning of World War II, the Norden Bombsight was Mark 15. It was super sophisticated. In Blighty, Great Britain was losing the war with Germany, and their only solution, and what they could actually do, was to carpet bomb German cities. Meanwhile, back in the USA, the average US citizen didn't want the US to get involved in fighting in Europe. You've got to remember that the US is a country of immigrants, and there's lots of Germans and Italians whose homeland was in Europe. And what those fine Germans and Italians who didn't support the Nazis saw was the UK's arrogance at flattening big cities like Munich and Dresden with carpet bombing. The US government saw the Norden Bombsight as a possible answer and leverage to encourage the average US citizen that it would be good for the US to get involved in fighting in Europe. Even although the bombsight was their most top secret device, the US government allowed Carl Norden and his company to promote it. The Norden Bombsight became a household name in the US. Norden even advertised it in magazines and newspapers with the banner headline, "We can drop a bomb in a pickle barrel from 20,000 feet. And as we'll discover, that was never true. What happened next? Pearl Harbor and the Day of Infamy. Those from over there all flew over here, and the 8th Air Force were established in Europe. US bombers fitted with the latest Mark 15 Norden Bombsight started targeted daylight raids, because they'd sold the idea to the US of dropping a bomb into a German factory's pickle barrel. But it didn't work. It was impossibly hard to use under combat conditions. The Norden Bombsight broke down. There were no spares. It turned out each one is handmade, so there's no interchangeable parts. Eventually, the 8th Air Force under Curtis LeMay dropped the Norden Bombsight and introduced the concept of pathfinders, leading aircraft that could mark the target. These were both highly trained crew, excellent navigators, but what people didn't realize is that these were special aircraft, absolutely bristling with the latest electronic gizmos, DF, direction finding, ground-looking radar. These were not bombers, these were intelligence aircraft. And it meant that the US Air Force could go back to night bombing, which was much safer. But pathfinding target-dropping US Air Force bombers at night didn't work. There's a fascinating human psychology problem with even the concept. This is how it's supposed to work. The Pathfinder flies over the German factory and drops a flare. Whee! Poof! Marking the position of the bomb. But two things actually happen. First of all the German ack guns focus on the position of the flare, knowing that all the bombers are going to go over there, drop their bombs and turn to go home. They were sitting ducks. But there was a much bigger problem. You have to remember that B-17 pilots were 21. And what happened was they saw the flare, got as close to it as they dared, turned early, dropped the bombs, and headed home. All their bombs were falling short of the target flare. It wasn't working. So a brilliant new idea came about using human psychology. And this is how it worked. The pathfinding leading aircraft would fly past the target and drop the flare. The German ack would focus on the flare. The young pilots would fly towards the flare. They would turn early and drop their bombs exactly onto the German pickle barrel. This whole pathfinding, flare-dropping psychological trick was kept from the public. They were told that the German factory was hit because of the Norden Bombsight. Just the same kind of story that us Brits were told about Cat's Eye Cunningham, who could see in the dark because he ate carrots, when in fact his fighter plane had a micro-cavity magnetron radar system that was completely secret. It was carrots. Oh no, it wasn't. But in a strange twist of fate, the Norden Bombsight came into its own in a very counterintuitive way on a clear blue day, specially selected because it could film this experiment. A B-29 bomber with the most experienced crew of navigators and senior pilots took off from a Pacific island. On board was a Norden Mark 15 bombsight. For this mission, there was no ack, no fighters, clear blue daylight sky, letting the bomb aimer set all 64 of the Norden's parameters to accurately drop this special weapon. Over the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, atomic bombs fell those fateful days, targeted by a Norden Bombsight. Ironically, both the nuclear weapons were thousands of feet off target. But with this type of bomb, it didn't really matter. The Norden Bombsight had found its unique use. Isn't it strange how often things that we think we know about have a hidden double use? I love digging up and telling these stories to you because the truth is out there.
Oh, you're still here. Great! You know that bloke that comes from the maintenance department that keep on asking me for spare parts? He's not such a bad guy, really. And he actually wants to tell you something.
Oh, well, I never got my Norden Bombsight fixed. Although the guys from the spare department really tried to help. It was such an interesting story, I didn't realise that really it was a bit of a scam. And I want to tell you something else. Now, I've worked here for nearly 4 years, fixing things and making films about string vests and bomb sites and strange huts. And nobody really watches them because they're exactly the kind of films that YouTube, our boss, really don't like. But I like them, and one or two of you seem to like them too. But they're not very popular. But that's exactly the type of film that I like to work on. A kind of a project fixing stuff up, like an old aeroplane. Brilliant stuff. But I was wondering if you could help. You see this spanner and this big drill? Well, that's what you need. What you could do is go down and subscribe. It's free. You don't have to buy the spanner. And also, if you ring the bell for future notifications, you get to find out when I do films on other things. It's really a good idea. But there's an even better thing that you could do. If you really want to help make interesting films about subjects that only you and I like to watch, why don't you become a Patreon? It's only $1, a few pence a month, but it's way more than YouTube pay me, and it actually, because of Patreons, is the only way I get to make films about Norden Bombsights and string vests.
Oi.
Oh, hang on.
Oi.
The guy at the spares department wants to say something. Hang on.
Oh, good, it's me again. I've been searching around and I really can't find any parts for the Norden Bombsight. But what I did find in the back of the stores are some early training films about how to use it. I thought you, as a special thanks from me in the spares department, would like to see my film on how to use the Norden Bombsight. Thanks for watching.
You're right, gentlemen, in case you missed the preceding episode, is Cadet Williams, somewhat of a memory expert, whom we last saw making a pre-flight inspection without a checklist. And for his first mission, too. You're overcorrecting a little there, aren't you? That's right, relax. You haven't got anything to worry about. Much. You know your stuff as far as you've gone, and you know your bomb site's in good condition. Or at least you ought to know it. You made the pre-flight inspection, didn't you? Okay, here we go, mister. I know you're wishing you good luck because there isn't any luck in this business. You either learn it or you don't. And you're either right or you're wrong. All right, get set. Now, switch is on. PDI switch on. Servo on. Bomb sight switch on. Rate motor switch on. Stabilizer running and all warmed up. Now, while you're on the way up, set that disk speed so that the optics will drive at the right speed for your altitude. Table says 326.9. 326.9. Right. A little slow, That looks like it. But you can't be sure without a double check. 2 correct readings. Okay. Now for trail. 47 mils. Get the rest of the data now so you'll know the CIA. Here's your chance. Show the lieutenant you know what's doing.
Bombardier to pilot, go ahead. CIA 6920. Open bomb bay doors.
Are you sure they're open? Light on. Okay. Wait a minute. Release lever on safe? Safe. Go ahead. That's right. Level up stabilizer with the fore and aft bubble. Lock it good and tight. You'd be doing something to hit that target from here. That one's on the other leg of the range. All right, this is your range. See if you can pick up the target. No, not with a sight, just with your eyes. Maybe you didn't know. When they laid out the range, they forgot to paint in the diagrams. I bet they forgot to do that in Tokyo, too. All right, Lieutenant, he's your baby now. Pick a landmark. See that nearest dry lake? The target's that white spot beyond it and a little to the left.
You're forgetting something, mister. Turn extreme forward vision in.
Get on the target. Clutch in so the stabilizer will hold the sideline steady in azimuth. Uncage the vertical gyro so you'll have a steady vertical reference, no matter how much the plane rocks. Well, mister, remember that pre-flight inspection procedure that you learned by heart? Couldn't be that you forgot number 21. Could it?
Instructed a pilot. Sight malfunction. Let's go down.
What's the matter? Air sick? Makes you feel like kicking yourself, hmm? Well, how would you feel if it had happened over an enemy target? Yes, a lot of valuable time wasted. Well, mister, here we go again, and good enough. You didn't forget that extreme forward vision this time.
Now uncage your gyro. Now let's get on that target.
Watch closely to see which way you're drifting. The wind is pushing off to the right of the target. Double grip and turn back slowly. Better get back on the target so you can see what you're doing. Drift to the right, so turn them back. Easy now. Drift seems to be killed, so back again on target. Overcorrected there a bit. Turn the extreme forward vision out before you lose the target. And get back on target. Drifting off to the left now. So double grip the knobs and turn them forward. Easy does it. Better turn on your rate motor. Got your course pretty well set. Now let's see what you can do about rate. You can judge your rate better if you put it back on target. Driving a little slow. You're trying to find that one point on the scale, remember? That's coming along. Let's see what the lieutenant has to say about it.
Bombardier to pilot. Okay to level, sir.
Level. Level.
Level carefully, so you can keep that vertical reference line.
You better see how much time you've got. Planning a dry run, set your selector lever. Those rack switches help too. And don't forget your automatic release lever. Getting pretty close. Instructive switch. Not much time, don't make any big corrections.
Bombs away.
Rate motor off.
Okay to turn, sir.
Stabilizer unclutched. Rate index at 0.5. Sighting angle at 70 degrees. Disc speed knob on low speed. Trail arm at 0. Pretty good, huh? In fact, terrific. And what a nice big pair of ears you have to tell it to. Except that here's another friend of yours, and he was along on that first run. Remember? What's that? Pre-flight penalty. Well, here's something, Mr. Memory Expert, for you never to forget. Oh, well, you might be buying extra beers graduation night, Cadet Williams. But I don't think Lieutenant Williams, Bombardier, will ever forget to complete a pre-flight inspection.